All right, rise and shine, everyone. Time now, 8 o'clock here on this Thursday morning. Thank you for streaming with us here on KARE 11 Plus. Jason and Alicia with you. Of course, we are following the big breaking news from last night, developing into this morning, that horrible plane collision in Washington, D.C. at DCA Airport. We learned this morning in a press conference, no survivors out of that.
No survivors. Audrey Russo's been tracking the developments all night long. We're going to check in with her here in just a few minutes. Meantime, let's get a check of our weather here at home from John. It's going to be a pretty good day today.
Yeah, I mean, today's an amazing day. Temperatures getting up near 50 degrees, and the sunshine with light winds is going to make it feel like the 48 to 50 degrees. Sun is coming up here. We are gaining 20 minutes of sunlight approximately. I mean, it changes every day, but approximately 20 minutes a week. That's quite a bit. I mean, so a couple weeks go by, you're at an hour. So that'll be 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night. So that's what happens in February. You start turning up the amount of sun you get. 33 degrees, broke freezing already. The key here is the winds. You almost don't notice the winds out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. So light. Now they're needed because that's actually pushing up the warmth. Where it's calm, it's actually colder. 15 in Brainerd, 19 in St. Cloud. The 30s where we have those winds. Also, we don't have a snowpack. Really the southern half of the state. St. Cloud North snowpack, and that's why it's literally the divide between chilly air and mild air. And they will still warm. They as in St. Cloud, Brainerd, you'll still get into the 40s. I just don't think you'll get near 50. Twin Cities, 45, the warmest point of the day is 3 o'clock, but it gets to last until 4 actually, which will be pretty solid. Tons of sunshine. Winds, the big story today. The fact that they're light makes it so much more enjoyable. Plan today to do something outside. Do anything outside because we are going back to winter big time. Starts on the weekend. We'll talk about a chance for snow. Who could see 6+ inches of snow Saturday and Sunday in your forecast? That's going to come up. CC.
All right, good morning. Well, because of a crash on 94 westbound in Minneapolis, we're seeing a backup between 35W and 3rd Avenue. So I'd add about 5 to 7 minutes to your commute if this is your route this morning and you're headed toward 394. There are more crashes across the metro as we get into the thick of the morning rush, so I'll tell you more about those in a few minutes. Alicia.
Cece, thank you. Let's get to that breaking news out of Washington, D.C., where we're learning search and rescue efforts for plane crash survivors is now turning into a recovery operation for victims.
Yeah, the flight went down into the Potomac River after crashing with a military helicopter just minutes before it was supposed to land over at Reagan National Airport. New images overnight gives us a look at the wreckage. The plane now in pieces in the river. So in the last few hours, we've learned some new details from the officials leading the investigation. Our Audrey Russo's in studio tracking the latest developments from what could be the worst U.S. commercial aviation disaster in years, Audrey.
Yeah, Jason, Alicia, that's right. In the last hour, the National Transportation Safety Board has taken the lead on investigating what caused such a deadly collision on such a clear night. Now, the plane was carrying 64 passengers and crew on a flight from Wichita, Kansas. The Army helicopter was carrying 3 soldiers in a training flight. All are believed to be dead. So far, 27 bodies from the plane and 1 from the helicopter have been recovered. Now, the plane's fuselage, the main part carrying crew and passengers, was found in 3 separate places and in pieces in the Potomac's waist-deep water. Reagan Airport is closed at this hour, but we're told it will reopen at 10 a.m. to a public that officials note are probably very shaken.
We will not rest until we have answers for the families and for the flying public. You should be assured that when you fly, you're safe.
Now, we know that some members of the U.S. figure skating team were on that flight. That team has several people from Minnesota on it. We know at least 2 of those Minnesota-born athletes were not on the plane, though, and are safe this morning. I'll have more details on that coming up in about 30 minutes. Jason, Alicia, just a tragic situation.
Absolutely tragic. I mean, this plane was seconds from landing.
Yeah.
I mean, people were texting their families, letting them know, okay, we're about to land, we're about to arrive, and this just happens in a flash, just like that.
So
horrible.
Sad. 67 lives lost. All right, Audrey Russo, we'll check back in a bit. Thank you. We've been tracking 2 flights coming and going from MSP Airport this morning. Right now, 3 arrivals from D.C. have been canceled. But as you can see, everything else throughout the day is staying on time. Reagan National Airport again closed for another 2 hours. Officials say each airline will announce to their passengers what the operations will be as things get back online. And we've been monitoring this story all night, all morning. We're going to continue to do that. So make sure you stick with us here on KARE 11 Plus, on air and online.
Time now, 8:05. More of your headlines this morning. Confusion over the Trump administration's memo to freeze federal funding. The White House has now rescinded that memo less than 24 hours after it was issued. So here's what happened. On Tuesday, the Trump administration said it would freeze trillions in federal grants and loans for a wide range of programs. That order then got blocked by a judge. But the White House now says it's just the memo that was rescinded and not the order, and that it's continuing with a review of all federal spending. Now, this is all putting budgets in limbo for organizations here at home that rely on that federal money. Raya Katene shares how they are preparing.
It seems there are more questions than answers this morning after the White House rescinded its memo directing a pause of federal funds. The Trump administration said it was freezing trillions of dollars in grants and loans for a wide range of programs, but that directive was then blocked by a judge. And now the White House says just the memo was rescinded, not the order, and it is continuing its review of federal spending. This is all leaving many Twin Cities programs and nonprofits who rely on federal money in limbo. The Minnesota Association of Community Health Centers says $45 million, or 20% of its annual budget, comes from federal money. These centers provide comprehensive and affordable health services to roughly 170,000 people across the state. If they're unable to get federal funds, even temporarily, the CEO says facilities would begin shutting down within days.
An update this morning on a crash that nearly killed a Hopkins teenager last spring. The Minneapolis man charged in the crash will spend the next 3 years on probation, despite a long history of driving violations. Mohammed Salad was driving 90 miles an hour on the shoulder of Highway 7 in Minnetonka when he ran a red light and smashed into Lauren Olson's car. Lauren, who was just a block from her home, was in a coma for 2 weeks and in the hospital for 2 months. She recovered and was able to walk into court for Salad's sentence, where her father addressed the court.
It is my opinion that he will simply grab a set of keys off the kitchen counter and take a car for a joyride. There's nothing preventing him from doing that, except his own conscience.
Salad gets credit for the jail time he served over the last several months. Sentencing laws here in Minnesota prevented the judge from giving him any prison time. Lauren spoke with us off camera, saying that she's hopeful he takes the opportunity to change.
In the last 24 hours, a guilty plea for a man connected to a deadly shooting at a backyard punk concert in 2023. Dominic Burris pled guilty to aiding and abetting second-degree murder and first-degree assault. Burris, who prosecutors say was the major perpetrator and instigator of the shooting, was 17 at the time, but certified as an adult. He could serve more than 23 years in prison. A Minneapolis homeless shelter is now set to close. This comes just months after a 7-figure grant to try to save and renovate the Agate shelter split city leaders. The city of Minneapolis confirmed the homeless shelter, told them it won't be moving forward with planned renovations. The deteriorating building was slated to close last fall, but the city council voted to fund the renovation so they could stay open. The city now keeping the $1.5 million.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey is officially running for a third term. In the last 24 hours, he shared he's pledging to make the city safer and more affordable. Frey was first elected mayor in 2017. There's a few other people vying for the job, including State Senator Omar Fatah and City Council member Emily Koski.
We have new details coming in about the inclusive poster series the Lakeville School Board voted to take down this week. The district superintendent says the posters will stay up for now. In a letter to staff and families, the superintendent says there will be new messages coming promoting inclusivity and academic excellence. The superintendent also said in the letter that he wants students to know, quote, "You belong here." All right, let's take a live look from our sky cam here at 8:09. Beautiful day. Love how
Grab the shades.
the sun reflecting on the building there. It's 34 degrees outside. It's only going to get warmer. Is this summer? I'm confused.
Springtime. John's dressed for springtime.
You really are.
I was trying to, I don't know. I didn't want to wear like the full gear today, and I still wanted to wear a coat, which I did. I probably won't wear a coat this afternoon, to be honest. I'll be in shorts and a t-shirt. It's going to feel warm. 80 degrees warmer today than it was last week. So you got, at least last Monday, you got, and that's for real, like for real temperature. 75 degrees change. I mean, that you can only do at this time of the year. You're not going to do that in the summer. Now we're talking about near record temperatures today. Snow showers Saturday afternoon. Saturday is going to be an interesting day. We're looking at snow coming in the afternoon and then quickly moving to Duluth. I'll show you what that looks like and what that means for you. Much colder next week. We know that. So snow is hyper-local forecasting. Cold temperatures is not hyperlocal. It's more large scale, jet stream forecasting. Those two are very, very different. That's why we can't go more than 3 days out for snow, but I can go 10 days out for cold air. So with that being said, I am 100% positive it will cool down next week. Big pattern changes are easy to forecast. Small hyperlocal things like a snowstorm is not easy to forecast. 33 degrees out here in the Twin Cities right now. Feels great. 19 in St. Cloud, 15 in Brainerd. Got the 30s out there already this morning. We're going well into the 40s. Sunshine all day long. This is a rarity. That's why I've been calling it such a gem, because typically when you warm up at this time of the year, you drive up clouds. If you have any moisture at all, we would have cloud cover, rain, snow, something like that. So this is a gem because there's a system that's actually blocking moisture to our south. It's giving us this nice dry sunshine today. Enjoy it. 52 in Rochester, Jackson 55, 54 there. Mankato right at 50. So some of us will be breaking records. Twin Cities needs to get to 48 to break a record today. So here's what it looks like. We get that block of sunshine because there's all this moisture down to our south. So low misses to the north, low misses to the south. That's your gem today. We'll cool back down Friday, and then it'll set the stage for Saturday. Now Saturday, there's a warm front coming in and a decent low that starts to develop in from it's a Canadian low, not necessarily a straight clipper, or it's either a strong clipper or Canadian low. Again, in between. Canadian lows are a little stronger than a clipper. Nonetheless, this boundary comes right over the Twin Cities. Models are indicating that the low pressure center will be strengthening Saturday midday, and it matches up with moisture, and all of a sudden you're going to see this band of snow right over the Minneapolis area. Then that band will quickly race to the northeast. So this is 3:30. If you got plans Saturday afternoon or evening, it's not that I would change them, but I would definitely be aware that there might be some heavy snow for a time frame there before it lifts north. Now, if you're going to the North Shore, it's going to snow a lot. 6 to 10 inches of snow up there. Hyper local, again, because we've got lake enhancement. Lake enhanced snow is while it's snowing and then you enhance it. Lake effect is when it's not snowing and then you just add snow randomly. So this will technically be lake enhancement. What am I looking for? I lived in Duluth many years. If the North Shore is going to have lake enhancement, what do you need? You need a southeast wind. Well, this is perfect. You get this rotation coming off the lake. You're going to see a band near areas like Silver Bay, Grand Marais, Two Harbors, where you're going to see 6, 7, 8 inches of snow, maybe even more. Twin Cities at Saturday night, does that look like a lot of snow? No. What would we want to get more snow if you were a snow lover? You want the boundary to start trending south. There haven't really been trends. So once it trends, I'll be like, oh, we're going to keep trending. But I haven't seen a trend yet. So this is the forecast as of now. I do expect changes, but Twin Cities at this point, it gives us almost nothing. But you can see, look at, if you even look at this purple, that's a foot of snow. It's clear lake enhancement up there. So this time it's the North Shore, not the South Shore. Now, I got time on KARE 11 Plus, so I'll keep ranting, but the North Shore gets about 100 inches of snow a year. The South Shore can get over 250, because northwest winds are more common than southeast winds in the actual winter. But yes, this is where most of the lake effect snow is, but this time it will be unique, a little bit more so. Areas in Lutzen. Heading to Lutzen this weekend or something like that? Phenomenal. Twin Cities right now, if I had to go forecast right this second, I'd say an inch or ½ inch to an inch. Areas in Pine City, maybe 2 or 3 inches. And then areas in Duluth, that's where you can see 4 or 5 or 6. So again, better chances northeast. We are on the edge, but if this thing changes, which it can, it's definitely possible, we got to keep an eye on this thing Saturday afternoon to Saturday night. It'll be an interesting one because it could come in with a burst, even if it only lasts for 2 hours. Next week, like I said, 100% chance of it getting cold. There's 40% chance for snow, 100% chance it will get cold. Next week will be in the single digits.
Well, this morning, new details are pouring in from last night's deadly midair collision in Washington, D.C.
We're going to have more updates for you coming up in just 2 minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back. Time now 8:16, and we're back now with a live look at the recovery efforts underway on the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. Recovery effort, not a rescue mission anymore, as we learned this morning. This is after an American Airlines plane crashed with a Black Hawk helicopter, military helicopter, just before 8 p.m. near Reagan National Airport. In the last 2 hours, we've learned that 28 bodies have been recovered, with obviously more to come here. There have been warnings that something like this could happen at Reagan National Airport.
Its main runway has been ranked the busiest runway in America, and each day there's more than 800 takeoff and landings there, according to local airports authority. 90% of those flights take off from the same strip because of the small size of the airport. Last year, the FAA's reauthorization bill added 5 new slots to the Reagan's international daily schedule. That's 5 landings and 5 takeoffs. And Virginia Senator Tim Kaine pushed back against the bill, saying the airport couldn't handle any more traffic and would create the potential for an in-air collision. We'll have more on the crash coming up here at 8:30. Meantime, we're going to get a look at the roads from Cece.
Yeah, seeing a couple things right now. Slow moving on the 394 eastbound at the exit ramp to Highway 100 southbound. You're still able to take that ramp to 100, but you may just have to move slowly on your left. Then for over an hour, a stalled vehicle has been blocking some of this ramp on 394 as well. This is exit 7, which I believe is Penn Avenue, but actually a tow truck is just taking that vehicle away. So that a ramp should be good for you as you head toward downtown Minneapolis or 94. Hey, John.
Hey, morning, CC. Morning, everyone at home. We are getting ready for our break today. I'm definitely all in on it. No gloves, lighter coat, just enjoying the day. It's very nice outside. Now, you can thank the lack of snowpack. At this time of the year, 80+% of years we're going to have a snowpack on the ground. So when you get a warm up on a year with a snowpack, you might hit 40 or 45. Without a snowpack, now you can break records, right? That you have to have no snow if you're going to break a record. And you can see the snowpack get really is light in St. Cloud of Brainerd. Got to get up on the Iron Range and Grand Marais, where they still have a solid depth of snow. That pretty much you could look at this this map and say, all right, south of it could hit 50, north will be at 40. It's probably going to be a 10-degree despair and change just because of the snow on the ground. So we are looking at near record warmth today. The reason we can get there, of course, we just talked about it. Snow shower Saturday afternoon, much colder next week. We know it's going to be colder next week. The snow on Saturday here in the Twin Cities, 30-40% chance Saturday that we get an inch. Okay, 30%, I'd say 30%. If you live in Duluth, 100%. So you get the idea. Temperatures up in Brainerd, 15 degrees. Twin Cities 33, very warm, especially where, again, we don't have the snowpack. So what happened up here? Well, your temperature is able to not only not warm up during the day, but it cools you down at night. It's very important for temperatures to actually cool down, to have snow on the ground. You need that snow. That's what's remarkable about this January. We have had no snow, yet we're still well below average. And yes, today's still not going to be able to crack us above average. We're below average this month. Sunshine and the thaw is on. Biggest story today, I guess if there were two, it's the winds are light and we have sunshine. That's what makes today such a good day. We've been talking about it all week. I was like, yeah, Tuesday, same temperatures today, but it was blustery. Not the case today. 52 in Rochester, 47 in the Twin Cities. And again, you'll see temperatures struggling to warm because of obviously the snowpack they have on the ground. Clear skies, one little block of sunshine for us. Rain and heavy rain in Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas. Now that is something that perks my ears. First time I've seen a system down there. Well, that means the Gulf of Mexico is opening up. The Gulf is starting to open and we're starting to see that precip show up. Now, if we could match that up with some really cold air, that's called a snowstorm. Now that's just a rainmaker down there because it couldn't match up with cold air. So this is, again, a low pressure center. As it runs into that moisture that you can't really see, but trust me, it's there. The low comes in, it runs into that area of moisture, and then boom, you get some snow Saturday at 3 o'clock. What I believe is going to happen is at 3 p.m. or 2 or 3, let's call it the afternoon, you're going to get a quick enhanced area of snow, and then that snow is going to quickly lift to the northeast. So we might only be dealing with a couple of hours of precip in the Twin Cities, where they could be dealing with 12 to 14 hours of precip on the North Shore. You get the idea here. Obviously, lake enhancement as well. How do you know? Southeast wind, run it over the water onto the North Shore. Only a very select few years do we close up Lake Superior. And obviously that matters as well. If you have an ice block, you can't have lake effect snow, but it is open right now. You still have open water. Last time we closed up the lake was 13 and 14 back in 11 years ago. So they're still going to have that lake effect snow. Once you close the lake, which we're not going to do this year most likely, then you can't have lake effect. But for now, they're going to have 6 to 8 inches up there, especially on the areas from Two Harbors, driving up the North Shore, going up to Silver Bay and Grand Marais. We're on the edge of this thing. 1/2 inch to 1 inch is what it's saying right now. This would need to slide south. That boundary that I showed you, that warm front, would have to start drifting south. I don't see that happening right now. If I do, I would be the first to let you know. I was like, hey, it's sliding, and then I'd be like, whoa, we could get a bunch of snow. Right now, 30% chance. We're on the outside looking in. If you live in Pine City, you're watching right now in North Branch, I'd prepare for shovels. That's how close I think this is to the metro. If you're watching in Glencoe, unlikely. You get the idea. Southwest of us, lower chances for snow. Cold air moves in next week.
Welcome back here to KARE 11 Plus this summer, the show that taught us how to do the bend and snap. Bend and snap. Coming to the Twin Cities.
I don't know what that reference means. The Broadway hit musical Legally Blonde is coming to the Ordway this summer. The theater announced it's adding the musical to its lineup from June 10th to June 15th. It's based on the movie, which follows Elle Woods as she pursues her dreams at Harvard. Tickets are on sale now. I've seen the references, I've heard the jokes, I've never actually watched the movie.
Same. I've seen clips of it, like when it's on TV, but I've never sat down. But apparently people think it's super funny, and the fact it has a Broadway show.
That's a big
Must
deal.
be good.
Didn't they make 2 of those? I think there's Legally Blonde 2.
We have no idea. This is the greatest banter ever. 3 people, never seen the movie.
Yeah.
I know
We're not
Luke
qualified.
Wilson's in it,
Yes.
and he's cute.
Who is?
Luke Wilson. His brother is Owen Wilson.
Yeah,
what's her
Luke
name?
Wilson, old school.
Is it Jennifer Coolidge?
She's in it too.
Yeah, I love her. She's great.
Wow.
We
I
know
like-
all of this, but
Yes.
I've not
You've never
seen.
seen the movie.
I like Turtles and Morgan Freeman. That's all well, we'll take it we're just going where we want.
Good addition to that.
Thank
John.
you.
Thank you.
47 degrees today. Today is a phenomenal day. Enjoy it. Record today is 48. Could we do it? Yes. The reason I didn't go for it is one smart man, actually it's Keith Marler, but back in the day he said, never forecast a record. I said, all right. So yeah, we got 47. No, it doesn't. The reason for that was because the winds are not as strong today. So the winds aren't as strong. You shouldn't be able to get as warm. Like Tuesday, we excelled with those winds. 35 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will see a light mix coming in Saturday afternoon and evening. I expect a better chance for big time accumulations and plows. This is a Hayward Duluth snowstorm. We're just on the edge, and we're going to get the beginning of that Saturday. But I do expect some more snow actually next week. I got a chance Thursday next week. Some models are even giving us a little snow Monday. So roads are probably going to get dicey next week. So just start preparing for that now. We haven't seen that for 45 days.
All right, John, thank you very much. It smells good in our studio
So
this
good.
morning. It smells like me trying to use my Jamaican accent. I always I only pull it out every once in a
good.
while. No, it wasn't. We got chef and owner from Nanny's Jamaican Kitchen here in the house. We're going to see what he's cooking up coming up at 8:44. Welcome back. Time now 8:27, and we are bringing you a live picture from Washington, D.C. this morning, where a massive recovery mission is underway in the Potomac River after a deadly mid-air collision near Reagan National Airport. And this morning, as we learned a few hours ago, authorities believe there are no survivors.
Yeah, I think 28 they've recovered so far, which means 39 they're still looking for in the Potomac River. Audrey is going to have an update for us here in just a few minutes, but first we do have to get a check at the forecast right here at home. Hey, John.
Hey guys, temperatures outside, we're warming up nicely here. We're in the middle 30s right now. It is comfortable. The winds are light, so it should make the temperature today actually feel pretty enjoyable. 33, sun is coming up, and there are no clouds out there. A rarity. It's not always fact that south winds bring clouds. I would say 95% of the time you get cloud cover when you warm up. But we've already been warm. So we're at what we call a plateau with temperatures. So because we don't have to warm up anymore, that's why we're able to get some sunshine. 5 mile per hour wind, 6. It doesn't seem like much, but having that wind down there actually pops temperatures, and you're seeing that areas down to our south, still in the middle 30s. Now, if you're up to the north with calm conditions like Brainerd, you're in the teens. Near record warmth today. Snow showers Saturday and Sunday. That is something that we're starting to talk about here because the Minneapolis area, we're on the edge of this. It still looks like Duluth's taking the bulk, but we're on the edge, something we have to track. And then we know much colder air is going to be coming in next week. So enjoy the day while you have it. We'll talk about that snow chance this weekend in my forecast.
Good morning. There are only a few crashes that I'm seeing across the metro, and from what I'm seeing, they're either clearing like this one on 394 at Penn, or they're pretty minor to the point where they won't impact your morning commute right now. As of 8:29, things are still moving pretty good out there, but there is some frost, some risk of frost in some areas, especially North Metro, the Arden Hills area, Shoreview area, even outliers like in Waconia. So just be careful of that as you make your way out the door this morning. Jason.
Cece, thank you very much. Back to the breaking news right now in Washington, D.C. A massive search and rescue effort underway. A massive search and rescue effort is now a recovery operation, I should say, after a passenger plane collided with an Army helicopter.
Yeah, the crash sent both aircrafts plummeting into the Potomac River. This is the footage captured on EarthCam just after 8 o'clock last night. It's showing the American Airlines flight coming into land at Reagan National. You see the moment it collides there with the Black Hawk helicopter. And Audrey, you've been tracking this story all night long. What have you learned this morning?
Well, Jason, Alicia, officials expect no survivors from this collision. 28 bodies recovered overnight, 27 from the plane and 1 from the helicopter. So they're looking for the remains of 37 others who were on the jet and 2 other soldiers from the helicopter. Now, members of the U.S. figure skating team were on that flight coming back from a championship in Wichita. U.S. figure skating released a statement calling the crash an unspeakable tragedy. A U.S. figure skating coach also posting condolences on Instagram. Now, we know 4 people from Minnesota are listed on U.S. Figure Skating's website. This morning, we have received word that 2 of those athletes are safe, having flown home earlier in the week. Meantime, American Airlines, who operated the crashed jet, has set up a hotline for victims' families.
Our focus right now is doing everything that we can to support all of those involved and also the PSA Airlines team. This is devastating. We are all hurting incredibly.
Now, the NTSB has taken the lead on investigating this crash. That's the National Safety Transportation Board. We're told that both the helicopter and the plane were flying in standard flight patterns at the time of the crash. So obviously there's going to be hundreds of pieces of evidence, so much to parse through, from the wreckage to surveillance videos to see exactly what happened.
In fact, the crews, they've been working hours and hours. 300 went, and it's just wild and so incredibly sad. All right, Audrey, thank you.
We will continue to monitor this story, of course, as it develops. Make sure you stick with us here on KARE 11 Plus and on KARE 11 as well for the latest updates.
Happening right now, a hockey player from Alexandria is in a hospital in Canada as we speak after a tragic accident on the ice causing a traumatic neck injury. 17-year-old Jackson Drum is a defenseman for Idaho's Coeur d'Alene Hockey Academy. While playing in Vancouver over the weekend, his aunt tells us he crashed into the boards and broke his neck. His heart stopped and he had to be resuscitated on the ice. Jackson underwent spinal surgery the next day. Doctors have braced the family that their compassionate teenager, proud big brother and foster brother, might never walk or breathe on his own.
It's so unfair. This is a kid who has put so much good into the world, and just trying to reconcile how something so terrible could happen to him. At the end of the day, all I want to do is just tell him I love him, because that's all that matters. We love him and we're here for him.
Every hockey parent's worst nightmare. His aunt tells us initial scans show no sign of brain damage. They're hoping to move him stateside to continue care once he's able to travel. If you'd like to help them with their medical bills, we have a link on our website.
We have new details this morning on the Fridley student athlete attacked on the bench at a Robbinsdale Cooper High School basketball game. This video shows multiple people allegedly linked to the attack arrested during this traffic stop on Tuesday night. So here's what we know.
I'm Ian Russell. The New Hope Police Department is investigating after a boys basketball player from Fridley was assaulted with a pipe during an away game while he was on the bench. That Fridley player was there for a game against Cooper High School in the Robbinsdale Area School District. Police arrested 5 people in connection to this assault. Both school districts say the people who did this have no connection to either school or school district. Police say this attack was not random.
Time now 8:33, and a big decision coming around noon today in Minneapolis. That's when the city council is set to vote on whether to charge MPD officers for off-duty work. The ordinance would be the first significant reform to the off-duty program in decades. This program allows off-duty officers to use city cars, uniforms, materials, and liability coverage. The city says these fees could have recouped up to $1.4 million last year. That's according to MPD data. Just before lunch, Minnesota residents and organizations will be outside of Target headquarters calling for a nationwide boycott. It's the latest backlash following the company's decision to end its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. We did reach out to Target about today's press conference, but we have not heard back. Over the next 12 hours, we could see record warmth as our highs are returning to the 40s.
That's right, as people are going to be heading out today and maybe on the ice. The DNR does have some important reminders. Michelle Beck is at Echo Bay off of Lake Minnetonka this morning and has more.
If you're out here long enough, you can hear the crackling sounds of the ice right here on Lake Minnetonka. Specifically, this is Echo Bay we're looking at right here. And take a look at the snow. This is part of the problem here, because when it gets warm enough and when it melts, all that water is going to melt into the ice, further causing certainly weak spots to degenerate, to break down even more. Well, the DNR told me a common problem this winter has been pressure ridges, which you can see in this photo from Lake Minnetonka earlier this week. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office reminds us here ice around these spots is hard to see, especially after snowfall. I talked to the DNR's ice safety coordinator about this. Pressure ridges form when temperatures drop and ice fills up a crack. Then during a warm-up, that ice has no room to expand, overlapping itself into a wall of ice.
If you see that, then you should not approach it. You should either turn around, go back the way you're coming, or kind of go parallel to it until you find an area where it's safe to cross. However, pressure ridges don't always form a wall of ice chunks like that. Sometimes the two sheets just fold down, and then you wouldn't notice it until you're basically on top of it.
So how do you avoid it before it is too late? Well, first, the official there from the DNR says to talk with the local experts, including those who work at marinas, including those who work at bait shops, or of course, local law enforcement. Also to drive slowly so that you can see what you're driving into. And also third, stick to travel paths that have been well maintained by Lake Minnetonka. Michelle Beck, KARE 11 News.
Good advice.
Very
Good
good
reminders.
advice. I don't want to tell all of you out there what to do because y'all are grown, but
Right.
I would stay off the ice today and just stay inside or go
He's
outside
scared
and do
to go
other
on
things.
the ice when it's like 20 inches
I'm just
thick. He's
saying,
from Florida.
go barbecue.
It
The
does-
ice will be back
it's
here in
like
a couple
lot.
of days.
So if you know ice people, they don't care what any of us have to say.
I know. I'm realizing that.
Trust me. Now, I will tell you, I see a lot of people do dumb things out on the ice. This
Including
is why,
yourself?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I
Spoke
don't.
too soon.
I mean, listen, I do a lot of dumb things, but I'm not trying to risk my life. I got a family, all right? So when I go out on the water, and it does freak you out sometimes, but I'm going out there, I'm going to drive my truck out there because I know the ice is very safe. Safest it's been in years. But when you're getting onto the lake, I call up the marine. I call up the local marina bait shop in Waconia, and they tell me exactly what is going on. They're professionals. They know where the ice cracks are. They know where the shallow water is. They know where the springs are, and they know where you can drive. So again, just do your research if you're new to this game. 33 degrees right now in the Twin Cities, 15 in Brainerd. Temperatures are cold up there. International Falls, 9. So having calm conditions and snowpack, even in a warm environment, they still got to 9. We will be way warmer, and the reason for this is not having a snowpack. 45 degrees out there right now for a high today, excuse me. We could get to that 48 mark. That is what ties a record if we get there. I got us at 47. 50s to the south, it's likely we'll get there. We hit 53 in La Crosse on Tuesday. Probably another day in the 50s down there. Nobody's got snow south of the Twin Cities. No one in Iowa, no one in Wisconsin. You got to get way to the north to find that snowpack. So sunshine in our environment right now. You can't draw up a better day than today. It's going to be so nice. Rain misses us. Again, Chicago area down in Iowa. And then here comes the system. This system comes in as a warm front, and it matches up with the moisture from the Gulf, and it happens right in the Twin Cities. So models are indicating there'll be nothing there at noon, and all of a sudden you'll just see this development right on the metro, and then it will move northeast. That makes it a little tricky. So it looks like we'll see a quick burst of snow Saturday afternoon, and then it will move out. So that's why I've got a mix. We could see some sleet mixing in there, mainly snow. Sunday we'll have some isolated flurries, and the next week is cold. You know, there's some very weak systems Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Looks like there's some bigger snowstorms possible later next week.
West Metro folks, I do want to tell you about this project. It's the last day of it. Highway 7 in both directions. I'm sure if you drive that way, you know that there was a lane closure in both directions between County Road 155 in the Minnetrista area all the way to Victoria at Smithtown Road. So crews are going to be back out there for the last day in about 20 minutes, and they should be wrapping up by 3 o'clock this afternoon. So just driving this route, it should be slow for only one more day.
Welcome back to Care in the Kitchen. Our guest today has dreamed of owning his own restaurant since he was a kid growing up in Jamaica, and that dream has come true. And for the last few years, Chef Akoi Graham has brought his love for Caribbean culture and authentic Jamaican food to the Twin Cities. Chef, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Welcome back.
Thank you guys for having me. Always a pleasure being here.
Always a treat. I'm sad you didn't bring your mom. I know you got her here finally.
Promise next time I
Next
will.
time.
Oh, you
Okay.
have to next. Maybe for Mother's Day, we'll have you guys back in
Definitely. I'll bring her.
Nothing like seeing a mom and a son in the kitchen. I wonder if she's like, no, you're doing it wrong, or let me
Sometimes
show
she's
you.
like, get out of my way.
here. I got this. I got this. How's the restaurant business been so far? You've been up for what, 2 years now?
We're a couple months shy away from 3 years.
Okay.
Restaurant business is a little bit challenges, but you learn as you go that for each challenge, you attack it from a different angle. You know, just keep pressing on. Restaurant business is the same situation like life. You know, every day it has different challenges, so you just grow with the restaurant and the challenges as it comes.
It's like your baby. And then you also had a baby 1 year in of your restaurant, so you've been busy.
Yes.
How have people been reacting to your food and to everything that you serve? Because you have some good stuff at your restaurant. I've been several times.
People really appreciate us for what we're doing, and the fact that a lot of Minnesotans do travel to Jamaica, so they're familiar with the food, and the fact that we're doing it the authentic way, they really appreciate it and they're excited about it. Like, people are like begging us out to open 7 days a week, just the fact that we only open 5. They're like, even on Mondays when we're there cleaning or prepping, they're knocking on the doors like, aren't you guys open? And we're like, no.
That's a good sign, though.
It is.
They want your stuff.
Yes.
What's your best seller, you'd say?
Oxtail for sure.
Okay, next time. We're not making that today, though.
No, we're going to
Okay.
be making some Escovitch red snapper today.
Before we get to that, you mentioned oxtail. Alicia's never tried it. Well, how would you describe oxtail to her, for somebody that's never had it?
So oxtail, it's a delicacy. It's a tail of an ox. Technically, we don't have ox in the States. It's a tail of a cow.
Oh, okay.
It's a delicacy. It's almost like beef. If you cook it the right way, you will want to have it every day.
Like low and slow and just tender. Okay, I'm going to love it. I feel like.
Fall off the bone.
Would you compare it to like a short rib, or is it not as fatty?
It's not that fatty. You know, it's similar texture,
Okay.
but not with all the fat, because we
Yum.
clean the fat off it when we cook it.
Okay.
So
I'm going to have to come try it. Today we're doing, you said red snapper.
red snapper, Escovitch
snapper.
fish. And, you know, again, another authentic dish from Jamaica. So what we have here going on right now, we have some vegetable oil which has been preheated. And you want to make sure the oil is at a certain temperature, because if you put the fish in the oil and the oil is not hot enough, it actually sticks to the pan.
Okay.
So you want to make sure there's a couple tactics to it, so you want to make sure that's, you know.
Are you watching this, John? You're a deep fry connoisseur.
He's all about frying. Oh, listen to that sound.
Yep.
Love that
So you
sound.
definitely want to have that sound when you get the fish going.
Do you already, and it looks like there's seasoning on these already.
Yes, and the fun fact about Jamaican food and Jamaicans overall, when you're cooking, it's like something that we take pride in. We want our meat to always be seasoned a day or two before. Always. That's why we always have so much flavor in our food, because we insist on having our food, our meat being seasoned for a day or two before the specific preparation.
Right.
Yeah, the best jerk chicken is marinated overnight, even for a couple of days, because you want that flavor to be infused. Red snapper, why red snapper for Escovitch fish? Is that just the way it's always been?
In Jamaica, we have different fishes that we use to do the Escovitch. In Minnesota here, it's one of the easiest fish to get your hands on. And I think more people are more familiar with red snapper than any other fish from back home. We have grouper, we have parrot. There's so many other fishes that we could use. We could even use sliced fish. For example, the fish goes with like a pickled vinegar sauce, spicy pickled vinegar sauce. We could use walleye, but again, you want to do it the traditional, authentic way, so we use it with the red snapper.
Very nice. What kind of spices did you have sitting on these fish for overnight?
So what we did, we combined some black pepper, salt, and a little bit of all-purpose season, mix it together and season them, and then you have it sit for like 2 days, and it's all
Nice.
ready.
And it's good to go.
Yes.
It smells amazing.
Yes. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna start over here. We're gonna start doing the sauce for the fish.
Okay.
Because the fish will take about maximum about 3 minutes on each side.
Oh, wow, that's way fast.
Very quick.
What we'll do, we'll start with a little bit of our cooking oil.
Okay.
And of course, pretty much most cooking, when you're doing it, you want to start with your onion and garlic to really bring out the flavor in your food again. Again, Jamaican food is all about flavor. Everything's flavor, flavor. So once we add the cooking oil, get some heat in that pan while we have our fish cooking. For instance, we're not really trying to overcook these vegetables because remember, it's like a pickled sauce we're making. So the sauce that it's in, normally this sauce would be made for like a day or two before as well.
Okay.
Because it's a pickled sauce, it's kind of sit and get marinated, so it's more fermented. So it becomes a little bit more stronger within scent and flavor as well. So
Pair nice with the fish.
Yes.
For sure.
And you're going out and you're getting fresh ingredients. None of this is frozen. None of this is pre-cut or pre-made.
No, I actually I think I have a personal vendetta against frozen
vegetables.
products.
You get
I
angry.
hate
And
it.
you could probably tell, too, if you're eating something and it's something that's frozen, you can tell.
Yes, I am against frozen products. So what we want to start off with our, and what we do is we start off with our onions. And how we do it is like we're trying to get everything in a uniform way. So as you can see, we ring our onions. We have our carrots, julienne, bell peppers, and we use different colors. You know, red, green, and yellow. It's all about the unification of making a little bit pretty.
Making it bright,
vibrant colors and stuff like that.
And you said these are habanero?
Yes.
You want to try one, just straight up?
I'll pass on that. Thank you very much.
John, you in?
John, habanero pepper?
Cece?
I'll do anything for TV.
Oh!
No, don't.
Don't tell us that.
I eat the hot chip.
Here you go, buddy.
So you're using habanero. Usually it's a Scotch bonnet, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
I just call you out. It's
we
fine.
normally use Scotch bonnet, but because in the state here, you can get your hands on Scotch bonnet, but sometimes when you do, it's frozen. And again, not the best friend of frozen products. Especially now, you know, if you're trying to come through the airport with a Scotch bonnet, you're not going to get through.
What is a Scotch bonnet? Sorry, I don't know.
It's
It's not at your local Cub, right?
No, not at all. I've tried.
So Scotch bonnet is a pepper, just like habanero, but I would
got some
say
heat.
about 1,000 times hotter than habanero.
Oh, really? Oh, it'll slap you. Okay.
Yes.
Scotch bonnet. That's a cute name. You're like,
Oh, it's a Scotch bonnet. No.
No, it's not a friendly name. You know, so we start off with the onion and we just pretty much just sweating the onion. As I said, we're not trying to overcook it, nothing. We're just trying to sweat it a little bit, get out some of that flavor of the onion in it.
keeping things al dente.
Yes.
I like that with my veggies.
Yeah, you don't want them too
You
mushy.
don't, you don't
Never.
want it too,
Not at all.
Would your mom make this growing up?
She would, yes.
Okay.
And then
That's fun. I love that.
what we
Yeah.
have here is a little bit of green onion and some garlic as well.
Okay. Green onions, we had a whole debate about
Yeah.
that the other day.
Oh, and chives.
Yeah.
Yes. We got over it though. Here we are.
We definitely recovered
Yep.
from that. Okay, so green onions, we got the regular onions in already.
Yep.
Are
green
these
peppers.
peppercorn? No,
So,
those are
yep.
so big. Oh, they are. They're ginormous
peppercorn
peppercorn.
and fresh thyme. So again, you just adding all this stuff, and it's like kind of like a time format. You're trying to make sure you utilize your time, so you don't want to be spacing out, putting everything in too far apart, because the whole concept is not to get everything too overcooked. The whole
Right.
concept is just to sweat everything together to get the flavor out.
Right.
And once the flavor is out in there now, it just makes it even better.
As Alicia said, al dente.
Yes.
Al dente.
That is the goal here. Okay.
It smells so good. You,
start
guys
smelling-
smelling that back
Yes.
The flavors
We're
of
the
the
audience. We're the
there?
audience.
They are the live audience, the live studio audience.
And you know,
There they are.
what you normally do, you add in the vegetables, add in the carrots. I normally just wait a little bit longer before adding the bell pepper. The reason for that is that technically the bell pepper and the carrots can be eaten raw. So I normally add them in. I add in the carrot a little bit earlier than the bell pepper because by the time the bell pepper goes in, we have some vinegar that we're going to hit it with. It'll pretty much cook itself just because it's a pickled sauce. So,
Oh, you can smell the thyme
Yeah.
really
Oh,
coming out
good.
too. Oh my goodness. And so the fish is just about done, right?
so not as yet because we want to we want to flip him over on we want to make sure each side is finished properly.
I'm backing up
Yeah.
for the
No,
splash
you'll be
zone.
fine.
I didn't bring my Shamu, tarp.
Look at that.
I get so intimidated with like full fish.
Yeah.
Doing it myself.
Is it tough to eat it in terms of the bones? That's that's a concern for some people.
It's a concern for folks, but let's, for example, myself, who's been eating this since I was a toddler. It's a joy for me to have fish whole like this.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of sliced fish because it's just like, this is what I'm used to, so technically this is what I really want. This is what I would enjoy. So, you know, it's about preparing stuff, but preparing it in different ways so that everyone can enjoy it.
Okay.
And, you know, it's just the thought that counts, that accommodates everyone, which makes a difference.
That's very important.
Yeah. So now that we have all that vegetables set in, we can add in our bell peppers. We have yellow, green, and red bell pepper.
Again, loving the colors.
Oh yeah. And then we want to add in our habanero.
Yes.
Fun fact: not everyone may be into too many spices. So what we're not gonna use all of the bell pepper. We're gonna use half of it.
Oh, this is Minnesota friendly now.
Yeah.
Now it's Minnesota.
It's Minnesota spicy.
Yes.
So don't fear everyone.
Yes.
It'll be good. Okay. All coming together.
And he left the seeds. That also adds an extra
Yeah.
slap.
So what we do now is we add our 2 cups of vinegar. And remember, we were sweating the vegetables. We didn't sweat it on too much of a high heat because once you add the vinegar in it, that's liquid, you know, it will steam the vegetables a little bit faster. So technically what we can do now is turn it off once we add the vinegar in it. We add a little bit of black pepper.
A little bit of salt.
A little bit of salt.
So when you serve this at the restaurant, you say you pre-make it. Is it chilled or is it warm?
No, it's served warm, and we do it to order. So just like how we serve it at just like how we're cooking it right now, that's how we cook it to order at the restaurant. So someone will order it through one of our third-party apps, and we just cook it for them. They'll be there in like 20, 25 minutes to pick it up.
Wow.
And go. And it's because we try to keep our food fresh.
That's great.
And, you know, fresh is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. Always, always, always.
Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that is
so
beautiful. Beautiful stuff.
You guys hungry?
This is one of the most beautiful things I've seen cooked on the show. Like full fish like that, it just reminds me of my childhood. We used to cook, we used to go trout fishing and cook them just like that. And it's such a,
That is good.
it's such a special, authentic way to cook fish that you just don't see a lot, especially in Minnesota.
So used to like the sliced fish and
Yeah.
The old
fish
Vandy
fillets.
Kemp's, right?
Right.
Vandy Kemp's fish sticks.
So the thing is that
Just
if you're doing authentic, this is one of the things that this is one of my main goals for the restaurant. We want to bring authentic food to the widespread of Minnesota. So if whatever we do it just the same way how it's done back home.
I love that.
Because again, Jamaica consume a lot of visitors from Minnesota. We want to make sure when they go to Jamaica, if they did not get the time to enjoy as much time they wanted to there, enjoy the things that they wanted, they can count on Nanny's Jamaican Kitchen to prepare it for them the way that they would want it from Jamaica. And that's one of the things we strive for.
And you do it well. Jason says it tastes just like home,
Oh,
and he won't go anywhere else.
I
He
will not go
literally will
anywhere
not
else.
go anywhere else.
You are by far, in my opinion, the best Jamaican
Yes.
restaurant here in the Twin Cities. So,
Oh yeah.
and
Remind folks where you're located while we're cooking.
So we're located on 969 Rice Street in St. Paul. Our cross street is Rice and Front, right next to Mama's Pizza. We've been there for 2 years, almost 3 years right now.
That's
We're
amazing.
a little bit shy, 4 months of 3 years.
Congratulations.
Oh, appreciate
That's
it.
such a
Thanks
big
for that.
deal.
that's amazing.
Yes.
So I know we only have a couple minutes left. I don't know if you want to show off the finished product
Oh
or
yeah, we'll have. So right now,
Okay. Look at that.
so with that being said, and we have a fish finish. What we do, put them right there.
Come on over, you guys.
Yep. And
Wow. That's so beautiful.
This is really pretty.
And you cover it up with the onions.
Whoa.
It's all about the presentation. And there you go, everybody.
Yeah.
Voila.
So are there scales on this or just?
No, it's already clean. It's
Descaled?
all prepared. Only thing you gotta be careful of is the bones while you're having it.
Right. Okay.
Right, you gotta like scrape it off. Can you show me how to? Can I?
I
use
will.
some? This is everything. I mean,
Yes.
to get authentic food without actually going to Jamaica. I mean, come on. Where are you finding that in Minnesota?
You got one spoon. We got another spoon.
We gotta work on.
I know. Every week we have
Oh
issues.
no.
So we need forks.
Oh, don't worry. I brought some.
We're like
Chef, it makes sense.
forking it up
Look
over
at him.
here.
Oh, he's got like real cutlery. Okay, that's like from Dairy Queen. I don't
There we
know.
go.
Starbucks. Man.
Thank you, Chef McCoy. Cece, you got one? No. Oh, here.
No.
I'll use my spoon.
And then what makes it a little bit better too, you want to add a little bit more of the liquid.
Whoa, look at the teeth on that guy.
Bon appetit. Oh, look at that just crumble apart.
Oh yeah.
That is the most beautiful fish. Red snapper, that's a delicacy,
Some of the
man.
vegetables.
job.
Oh boy. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. I'm gonna grab from your zone. Oops, I'm making a mess.
So can you eat the skin? Doesn't matter.
Oh, all of it.
All of it.
As I
that's
said,
so
the only
good.
thing you gotta be careful
What,
of
the
is the
teeth?
bones.
Yep. Watch out for the bones,
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
Oh, the veggies have a nice glaze of like that heat
Yes.
from the habanero. I love it.
So do you
Oh,
just
wow.
like peel it off the bone?
Yep.
Oh, there
Yep.
it is. So
There
you
you
peel
go.
it across the bone.
Flake it off the bone. Make
Your
sure
mom
you
would be
gra-
proud. This is legit.
Make
Oh,
sure you
yeah.
grab some of the vegetables.
So
with it,
good.
too.
In fact, you can order this like takeout. Just walk out with your fish.
Yep.
Wow.
Veggies are good too.
Yes.
I like that heat. Is it too spicy for you, CC Gaines?
I didn't get the heat.
Oh, no.
Holy smokes.
And what we're talking about
That's
with,
special.
with the seasoning of the fish,
Wow.
letting it marinate overnight, you can taste the seasoning all throughout the fish.
Yeah, it's
well marinated.
Very well seasoned. Love the vinegar with it. The way you cook the veggies, watching you take the scientific approach, you're calculated in what you're doing. Everything's going in at the right time. That's precision.
And that's a mom's thought. That's a mom taught me that. I didn't learn that in school.
That's the best way to learn.
I've never been to cooking school.
Mom knows, man. That's that
My
detail
mom
from
teach
mom.
me everything from scratch.
Wow.
Chef McCoy, we appreciate you joining us.
We're
Thank
not
you as
worthy.
always.
Thank you
Delicious
so much.
stuff. We'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you very much.